So I was asked about how to explain the illogic of religious pluralism. And oftentimes what I try to do is I give an illustration as to kind of explain this. And the illustration kind of goes like this. I'll say, look, and I'll ask maybe three people who've never met my mother, who've never seen what she looks like. I'll just say, well, could you explain to me what you think my mother looks like? And so maybe one person will say, well, maybe your mother's like 5'3", weighs 130 pounds, has brown hair. I say, okay. And I might ask another person and say, well, maybe she's 5'5", weighs 150 pounds, and has blonde hair. I'm like, really, blonde hair? And I got dark hair like this? Whatever. All right. So that's their guess. And then maybe a third person will say, well, she's maybe about 5'7", weighs 170 pounds, and has black hair. I'll say, okay, great, thanks. Now I say, now could my mother be 5'3", 5'5", and 5'7" all at the same time? Well, obviously not. Could she have blonde hair, brown hair, and black hair all at the same time? No, of course. Well, now some of you are probably thinking, well, yes, she could if she goes to a salon. But I'm talking about all over. You know, it's not likely she's going to have all over brown hair and black hair and blonde hair. Could she be weigh 130, 150, and 170 all at the same time? Well, obviously not. She only has one height, one weight, and one color hair. She can't be multiple things at the same time. And in the same way, when we think about the different views about God and how different religions have different ideas about what God is like, they all radically conflict, right? Some religions teach that there is one God, others teach there are many gods. Some religions teach that God is personal, others teach that God is impersonal. Some teach that God has a son, while others teach that God doesn't have a son. Well, all these religions can't be right about the nature of God because they all fundamentally contradict one another, right? God can't be personal and impersonal at the same time. He can't have a son and not have a son at the same time. And so this sort of explains why it doesn't make any sense to advance this idea of religious pluralism, because different religions contradict one another in fundamental ways, especially on significant issues regarding theology. And this is just on the nature of God. This isn't even talking about the nature of who Jesus is or the condition of mankind. So anyways, that's one of the ways that I use to explain that religious pluralism is false.